time to strain those Leafs out of the lobster pot because what's that? They're cooked. The NHL season might be back on, but you know who's not? The Maple Leafs. It's time to crash out. Seriously though, it's sad. I mean, if you're a Leafs fan, it's sad. The rest of the league probably enjoys the suffering, but the Leafs need to shut it down and pray that they can tank for a top 6 pick. That's all they can cheer for right now. Because let's just jump to the game last night against the Panthers. And the whole game, maybe the whole season at this point, is summed up by an empty netter. That's how pathetic Leafs hockey has become in just 1 year. Their season summed up by an empty netter. They're down 4-1, goalie pulled, 2 minutes to go. Leafs cycle it down to Matthew Nyes, who gets pretty easily stripped by Sam Bennett, loses the puck as they lose another board battle. Willie then tries to pinch and help, but completely whiffs as Florida breaks out and then just gives up on the play. No back check by him, no surprise. Sam Bennett then dances through the neutral zone and around OEL's lazy poke check, by the way. He dumps it to Matty Tkachuk, who's over the blue line, sends it to the back of the empty net, right in Matias Maccelli's face, making it 5-1. All 3 zones of play there. Let's just go through them. Lazy, lazy, lazy. However, believe it or not, after the Olympic break, the Leafs front office still believe they might be buyers at the deadline, stating they need to see how they did against Tampa, Florida, and Ottawa until deciding their fate. Well, we don't need to see the results in Ottawa. After a 4-2 basically blowout loss to Tampa with multiple goals called back, they then get goalied by Bob 5-1. So let's check the clock. Yes, as I expected, time to blow it up. Bobby McMahon's the easiest. If you can get a first for him, you do it. You gotta restock some cupboards. Take what you can for Lawton and be happy. But besides for them, who really has any value and who doesn't have some sort of no movement clause to block the Leafs? It's hard to say. NHL teams are giving out no movements too easily, and it's tough because it does become more common and it's just a snowball effect. Like, why does Jake McCabe have a full no movement clause for the next 4 years? The dude could be stuck on the team until he's 37 if that's what he wants. Brandon Carlo has an 8-team no move for the next 2 years. Boy, that deal looks worse and worse as the day goes on. Ekman Larson, no relation, has a 16-team no move. Dakota Johnson, 12-team no move for the next 3 years. I'm usually a fan and honestly a defender of Willie, but the dude looks checked out since getting his bag, and of course, he's also got a full no move. He likes filming his YouTube videos in Toronto, no surprise. This whole team is a mess, and in a down year with a pretty good draft coming up, they don't even have their own pick. Again, that was part of the Carlo deal. They could be sending Boston a top 10 pick along with Fraser Minton. At some point, you gotta ask the Leafs to stop trading with the Bruins. They get fleeced every time. First Tuukka Rask, then Seguin in a cup, and now Minton and possibly whoever else they select this year. The only chance the Leafs have is if they bottom out, as their pick is top 6 protected. So they gotta tank hard or hope the lottery falls in their favor to keep the pick. And I mean, even then, it gotta go eventually. But that also is a tall task because the Leafs are currently the 11th worst team in the league and they're just deciding to tank. So there's no way they're going to be catching some of the professional tankers like the Canucks, like my Rangers. They're the worst, but they really need teams that don't want to win to leapfrog them, which is surprisingly hard. The Leafs right now are in the Buffalo Sabres no-go zone. In typical Leafs fashion, just watch. They'll get to 6th worst to keep their pick, and then someone will leapfrog them in the lottery, bumping them to 7th, and they'll lose their pick to Boston. And if they are going to be sellers, can we stop jerking Cowan around and just give him the minutes to develop? Please. I don't think having him in a box or with the Marlies is what this kid needs. Give him time, lower pressure. To be honest, and I think we all know this, management and coaching staff also need to change. It sounds like a broken record in Toronto to go after the front office, but man, neither of these bring any inspiration. Brube's style isn't working. It never really has. There were times when the Leafs looked great, but it's also draining character from the team. Meanwhile, Treliving has burned through all of their assets, left the cupboards bare, and he's taking no accountability. It is a funny comparison with what's going on in Pittsburgh. I don't remember who's the GM there, but Berube did the same thing to Calgary. He left them in the terrible position they're in now, so I guess we could have seen it coming. Fire them into the sun, beg Doobie to come back. He won't. Why not try, though? It's an awful time to be a Leafs fan, but at least spring training has started, right? And how about that cute letter from Mad Max's daughter? The snow doesn't need to have melted for GTA to trade in their sticks for bats this year, but what do you think of the current Leafs situation? What do you want to see them do? Can they do anything? Let us know below.